Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the happiest hour on earth. We're so excited to be back tonight. We took last week off because we were actually in the parks, which was so much fun. We had an amazing trip, and that is what tonight's episode is about. We're just going to give you guys a little recap on our trip, some of the highlights and the hotel we stayed in, just some of the fun stuff that happened on our trip. It was a blast, and always over too soon. Every time we get back, it's just like, it was like the blink of an eye, and it's just over with. So we're missing it pretty bad. It's been about a week since our last day, actually, but we're back to talk about it. So we're ready to jump in. Let's go ahead and do this thing. Okay, so in case you are not following us on Instagram and missed our big announcement, we are expecting another baby.
Yeah, so
it's been
exciting.
A very hard secret to keep here on the podcast. As I continue growing, you probably can't see super well right now.
The table is at a good height.
Yeah,
I feel like no one really guessed it.
It cuts it off, and I've been wearing a lot of baggy t-shirts to hide it, but the bump is definitely there. I'm due September 21st with our second baby. It's another boy.
Yeah.
So we're the boy parent
fam.
club. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we're really excited. It's going to be wild and fun and all the things. And any parents of multiples that want to send us tips, shoot them our way, because
Please do.
We're going to need all the help we can get.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It's going to be crazy.
So yeah, we've been hiding this ever since we found out in January.
I think February.
So was it February?
I think it was.
It was a couple months though. So
yeah, it's been
you guys might have seen, you might be going back. Wait. They did a Disney cocktail this night. Emily was drinking. What? No, we literally hid and made mocktail versions for her.
We were pretty sneaky.
Yeah, we were.
It was hard because a lot of the times there was not like an easy way to make a mocktail version of what you were having.
So just a really sweet version.
So he was having like the real thing most of the time, and I would just like alter the alcohol part out of it. So
it's a little like tonic water or something. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I had a lot of really tasty drinks, and maybe as the next couple months go on, I'll do even more mocktails, and I can actually say so now and say why that's happening.
Yeah.
So
we were kind of like in a limbo state because we wanted to keep making Disney cocktails, but then I would be buying, alcohol that M wouldn't be having, and it would be even more of a waste of money.
Yeah.
And so we were just in this phase of like, okay, what should we do in this transitionary period? And we kind of stopped a little bit. We've had a lot on our minds, going to be welcoming a second baby in, trying to prep for that. But we do want to start. Next week we want to do another snack, or I think
or drink, or
pretty
both.
soon. Yeah, but do some mocktails. Yeah. And yeah, like we said, we want to do like a big episode where we just kind of do both and maybe have it like a little, feast episode. So that will be coming soon. We really miss having them on our shows, but it's just been so busy.
Missing. Like something has been missing from the show.
Yeah.
I feel like, and that's, I think, what it is.
I know.
It's been a while since we've made something. And we got to get ourselves back on track. It's just been wild. We moved. We were gone a lot even since we moved. We
every
had,
single
trips
weekend.
Every weekend, yeah. And it's just been a lot going on. Pregnancy, just all the things. So it's been hard to kind of plan out and purchase items for snacks and drinks and things. But I think we're going to be back on track soon and hopefully do it once a month-ish.
Yes, exactly.
Not weekly.
Yeah, not every week. I'm so sorry. I wish we could. Honestly, it was the most fun thing ever. But we wouldn't start our episodes till like 9:30, and Em's been tired. She's pregnant. She's been a little tired. So doing those late episodes after we make a whole reel and make the food and the snacks and everything has been really hard. So now you guys know a little bit into that. So
the secret is out. Now you know why things have been a little different around here, and we've had to kind of keep it a secret. But here we are.
Yeah, for sure. Well, should we talk about our amazing trip we just had?
Yes.
We just, like you said, a week ago today, we're filming this on a Tuesday, was our last day.
And speaking of which, today is Tuesday, the 30th, and it is Splash Mountain's last day ever.
I know.
It's been a kind of emotional day, I would say.
I listened to the soundtrack maybe 100 times just to, you know, up and say goodbye.
I was doing the same. And it's very bittersweet.
Yeah.
We've talked about it a lot in past episodes, so we're not going to get too into it. But I did have to wear a Splash Mountain inspired tee, which I forgot I had. And then when I was deciding what to wear, I was like, I do have a Splash Mountain shirt. And it says "Find Your Laughing Place" here. And then on the back, it says "Zippity Doo Dah." And just had to pay homage to an amazing ride. So farewell, Splash. We love you.
It's been a good send off. Like today, we asked people, and thank you to everyone who has submitted photos, but we asked people to just tag us in their Splash Mountain photos. And we've just been seeing some amazing photos from all of our listeners, all of our friends. And so thank you. It's been really nice for us because it kind of brings a little closure to this ride that we've had such special memories with. And so it's very sad. Really excited to see what they're going to do with Tiana's Bayou Adventure as well. If you didn't know, we did an episode a few, maybe, 5-10 episodes back called Should Disney Retheme Rides? So if you're watching on YouTube, I'll link it up here. But if you're not, just scroll back and look. We talk about all the different ride rethemes, our thoughts on Splash to Tiana's, and I think we also talk about what rides could be rethemed in the future. I believe so. Really fun episode, really fun topic. So definitely go check that out. But tonight we are talking about our trip, and one of us got to ride Splash Mountain for the last time. She was pregnant. And so, but you did recently ride it. You rode it late last year.
On our last trip I did. And I thought that was going to be my last time.
So you almost had that closure.
I figured it was going to be closing before we got to go again. And it took longer than expected. Yeah. So I definitely teared up on my last time, which was 2 times ago. Yeah.
The bummer is that last trip we went just by ourselves. So we had a single ride. So we didn't get to ride it together.
And this time you rode it by yourself.
And I rode it by myself. Yeah. I think earlier last year, or was it the year before? No, I think it was last year. My parents went, and so we were able to ride it together, which was really fun. But a great send off. We love you, Splash. Thank you so much for all the memories. And with that though, should we talk about our trip? We're going to first talk about where we stayed. All right. This is always so important because I feel like a lot of people like us don't really have a set hotel. Yeah. Every time we try to find the best deals. And so, we have some that we really like, but we'll just try to get the best deals because we don't go back to the hotels midday. We just kind of go there to sleep. So we just kind of want to find the best deals. But there's some hotels.
Proximity.
Yeah, and proximity. There have been some hotels where we're like, I don't think we'll go there again. So, the best deals, if there's a really good deal there, we still probably wouldn't stay there. But we stayed at the Anaheim this time. Yeah. And really cool hotel. Really, really cool. Great proximity to the parks.
Oh my gosh. The distance to the gate is so close. That was for me the best part probably of the hotel. It was so nice walking in the morning and going back at night, and it was like a 5-minute walk. It was so easy.
Yeah. You look, once you exit the hotel, Guardians is right in front of you.
We had a view of it from, I guess it was from, just on the grounds of the hotel. So it was an awesome hotel for a lot of reasons. I feel like there's definitely some pros and cons to it. I guess I can just kind of talk about a little bit in case anyone is interested in staying there as well.
I guess most of our first little list here is pros. So do you want to talk about some of your favorite things about the hotel?
Definitely the proximity, like we said, was probably the best part to me. Not having to think about taking the shuttle in or wasting energy walking 20 minutes we have before. The
hard with you being pregnant and hard
already
with a toddler
struggling. Aside from, if it was
doing 25,000 steps in the park. Yeah,
exactly.
Any extra steps would be tough.
Yeah. So it was really nice being close. The other thing that we loved was just the kind of theming and the vibe of it. It's very like it's kind of like a boutique hotel, like very retro style. You can kind of tell as soon as you see it that that's kind of what you're in for. So I loved just entering. It's just nice and open in the lobby, and lots of like seating. There's also a restaurant and a lounge attached to the hotel.
Yeah.
And it's not even just for hotel guests. I think there's people that live in the area or staying at other places. So there's a pizza place, and they also have breakfast there in the morning.
Yeah. One thing I loved, just like thinking of the vibe, is it's very like 50s modern, but almost like, when Disneyland was built, 1955, really evoked. I mean, when you walk through those doors and you walk through the grounds, I had this sense of, time travel. Like I felt like if you've seen Saving Mr. Banks with, Tom Hanks about trying to get Mary Poppins from P.L. Travers to make the movie, it felt very Saving Mr. Banks. And it was so cool. I loved the vibe that it was giving off.
Me too.
Even there's like a little market, like a little shop there.
With a lot of stuff. And we didn't even...
They had lounge flies there.
Tons of lounge flies.
A lot of
and
other
like
good
food
stuff
and
there.
just like trip necessity type things.
It was really cool.
Which is just really nice to have on site of a hotel. And yeah, there was just really cool like murals with like old school kind of Disney-esque painting and stuff. It was just really cool. I really, really liked the vibe, and it's huge. It's a huge hotel, like lots of buildings. We kind of felt like it might be I kind of want to look into it and see if we're right, but the way that it's laid out kind of reminded us of like an apartment complex. Like it's a lot of buildings. Yeah. Like maybe it used to be an apartment and they just took it and rethemed it to be hotel use. Yeah. Because the way that the rooms are set up too, like it kind of just reminded me of apartments. Yeah. So I don't know if that was the case or not. Maybe we'll do some research. But
that leads us to our not like bad, but like
kind of bad.
Compared to how the vibes were at the overall hotel, the rooms were a little bit lackluster. But I do want to do a little disclaimer here. So we bought these hotels or the hotel rooms through Southwest Points. I'm thinking when you pay for points and not like cash, through third-party sites, probably get pushed to the back because we were definitely in the far back corner. Yeah. And if you pay, card or if you upgrade your room, you're going to have some nicer rooms. Now the rooms we've stayed in worse rooms, but
the fact like we had seen online, obviously you see online photos of rooms and they look like immaculate and clean and big and like, airy and open and stuff. So when that's the expectation and then it's not that, I think we were just kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah. So, I think a lot of the rooms there probably are like that. And maybe if we had been a regular paying guest, we would have gotten one of those, but we got a standard like 2 queen bed room.
The room was a decent size, a little bit small, but
it was cramped. Yeah, it was a little cramped.
If you thought the room was cramped, the
bathroom was
really
tiny. It was like you could barely move in there. Yeah. Like you open the door and it's like toilet, sink, shower.
We're not tall people, but I remember using that shower and I was like, I think my head's gonna hit
tall. Yeah.
Like I'm so glad I'm not tall.
It was pretty cramped in there. So the bathroom I would definitely say was the low point of the hotel. I would say that was the part I was the least impressed with. I'm sure lots of the other ones are good, but it was.
And take into consideration, we have a pack and play that's set up in the room. Our son is staying there, so it takes up a lot of room. We also, in the bathroom, that's where we had a bottle warmer and a whole bunch of other stuff. So it felt kind of cluttered, but we've gone on trips with our son before that hasn't felt as tight. And it's really hard because like the closest hotels to the park are often ones that do feel a little bit cramped in the room, or maybe like aren't the most relaxing. If you get a little bit further near the convention center, you get bigger rooms, but then you get a farther distance. So all that to say, we loved the Anaheim. I would definitely like to stay there again. The only thing is I would want to upgrade our room, because I think the rooms definitely might make a little bit of a difference if you do actually pay. So maybe we'll get a second chance, and maybe we'll let you know, because honestly,
because that was the
hotel
only part. Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah. There was a lot of pros. Like the pro list was definitely bigger than the con list.
Yeah.
But if you are going to be spending a lot of time in your room and like want a nicer room, either pay the big bucks for it or maybe stay at a different hotel. Yeah. But that's our thoughts. I guess we probably kind of dragged that out longer than we needed to.
We do love you, the Anaheim. So if you want to host us,
next time,
maybe we'll revise.
Maybe we'll give a better review.
So let's start off quickly with Sunday. We got down there Saturday. Saturday we did pool. We got some pizza at the delicious pizza press.
Kind of relaxed.
Incredible pizza. You could create your own.
Really good pizza.
Tell them what toppings you want. So good. But stayed there that night. Sunday, we had a late breakfast at the Pizza Press. Then we went to downtown Disney. We had one tantrum in the world of Disney because he saw...
because we bought a toy that he asked for, and then he decided it was not the toy he wanted, and so we had to return it.
Thankfully, that was rough. That was the only tantrum within resort property. So props to him for not causing a fuss on an actual park day. But then we had never been to Ballast Point before. And so we went to Ballast Point and we got to see the Uva bar that was totally destroyed. Had a great meal. I loved it.
It was really good.
Had a good beer. You had a non-alcoholic beer that they had that didn't taste like beer, but it was tasty.
So it was good. It was refreshing.
It was good, and we just had a really nice time there. And then later that day, we went to see her family, which was really nice. They live kind of in that general vicinity.
Yeah, like 10 minutes south, I guess, of Disneyland, Tustin. Yeah. So we had a nice time hanging out with all of them.
It was great.
It was fun, and then we headed back. We just kind of hit the sack because we knew it was going to be an early day the next day. Yeah. So it was our goal from the get-go to make sure that we were getting into the park early for both of our park days, because we know that if you want to do rides, morning is the time you have to be there.
That's like the biggest tip. Go early, knock as much as you can out early, because you do get the most done at that time.
Yeah, if you don't go early, the lines are just nuts by late morning to early afternoon.
They start getting really bad.
It's like there's no going back after that. You just have to wait in lines if you're not doing Genie Plus. Yeah. And even if you are, sometimes it doesn't even help that much. But I think we got into the park by about 8:30 or so. Yeah. Maybe just after. I know we were leaving.
I think like 8:25.
Oh,
like we were even better than that.
There's always that huge line initially before you even get through the gates. That always takes a bit.
Yeah.
That's probably like 5 to 10 minutes to wait through. But we were out of our hotel probably around 8-ish. So we got in the park pretty early. It was a California Adventure start day for us. So when we got into California Adventure, I saw that Soarin' had quite a short line. So I actually got to jump on that first thing, which I literally just like walked onto because it was just me by myself, and anyone that's by themselves always gets called to take those, last minute seats. So I was very happy that I got to do that because I didn't get to do a whole lot of the other like big kid rides on this trip. And I love Soarin'. So that was a good way to start our day. We got a couple other rides in.
We did like Ariel, Monsters Inc., some Cars rides.
Yeah.
And then
our son is still just too short to ride Radiator Springs Racers, which is so sad because he's obsessed with Cars and Lightning and Mater. Oh, which we did meet them though, which was fun.
We did, yes.
Both Lightning and Mater, we got to take pictures.
He was very shy and nervous. They're so big.
Which is sad because the last time we were there, he did so good.
Yeah.
We went right up to them, but this time with all the characters we met, he was a little nervous, but it was really fun. So yeah, after that, we were kind of just chilling. I think we got early.
You got a bread bowl.
I got a bread bowl early again, which I don't know why that always happens when I'm there. I'm just like, I don't think I had anything real to eat and I was starving.
Yeah.
So it was, we were in that vicinity and I was like, I'm doing it. Whatever.
You got a bread bowl. I got a bread drink, meaning a little bit of beer, which was nice. I think it's like 10:30.
Maybe it was like 11 by the time.
It was like 11. Yeah. So like
we'll call it
Disney
noon.
time. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, that was super nice. And then after that, I think we might have done Ariel, or maybe that was before. I know we bought like our kids some bubbles because bubbles definitely help your kid like enjoy.
$30 now.
It was a lot. I spent a lot on him this trip. But yeah.
It's crazy. Things are so much more than they used to be. I was like baffled at the price of that. But
yeah, we bought that. And then right around that time, we knew that our friends from Disney Bar's blog, Destiny and Savannah, were coming from Florida to go to Disneyland. And
they were on their last day, though, at this point.
Yeah, they were. And so we were like, you know what? You guys were one of our first guests. And one of them, I always forget which one, hadn't been to Disneyland before. And so that was really cool. And I was like, okay, we have to ride a ride together. And so first we stopped at Pim's. I got a something. I forgot what it is. They all kind of sound the same. Maybe the regulator, maybe the something.
I got a drink though.
Oh yeah.
Obviously non-alcoholic, but it was a newer one. I think it was called like
Pim's Particle
or something. Yeah.
It wasn't like
Popping
one has
particles.
been there a while, but one of them looked a little bit different. Yeah,
I think it was that because it had like pop rocks in it.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even know. I thought I was getting a different drink. And then when he brought it, I was like, oh, this wasn't what I thought. But it was really good.
Yeah.
Refreshing. And
that's good. I liked it.
Poppy.
It was super good.
It was good.
But yeah, and then so we got a drink there. And then Savannah from Disney Bar's blog was very afraid to go on Guardians. But I said,
you're doing it?
No, yeah, because I was like, we could either do Guardians or Radiator Springs Racers. And then I remember you have to pay extra to go on Radiator Springs if you have Genie Plus. I was like, take that as you will. And she was like, okay, I'm going to go on Guardians. So we went on Mission Breakout, and that was really, really fun. So we went on that ride together, got to hang out a little bit after. Yeah. But after we got off the ride.
In that time that they were riding the ride, I had taken my son and we were going into Animation Academy, which we love. Actually, I wish we had spent a little bit more time there. I love that place. But we were like unloading the stroller because you have to leave it outside. And then I made eye contact with Caitlin from Market House. She and Caleb were walking by and we already had plans to meet up with them later for Lamplight Lounge reservations.
Yeah.
But we just so happened to run into each other early. So we were hanging out. They came into the Animation Academy with us and then they joined us around that same time and we were all kind of hanging out, which was really fun.
Yeah.
And we hung out with Market House for a while, which was awesome.
Had a really good lunch at Lamplight Lounge. So good. As always.
Never
we were
fails.
Seated like right near the water.
A nice view of, Incredicoaster and the Ferris wheel. So that was fun. Obviously,
you got
food and drinks never fail at Lamplight, and service. They're so great. Everything about Lamplight Lounge is just the best.
It was awesome. Yeah, I had the same thing I had last time, which was so good. The Al Pastor pork chop. And then, you got the same exact thing too, because it's so good.
Yeah, salmon PLT, which I was excited that they didn't switch it out because a lot of times they switch out menu items. And that was one that I think had been a newer one last time we were there. So I was happy it was still there because it is so good.
And then what was your drink was like mint to be.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a
it was really good. It was kind of like a mojito, kind of like a watermelon mojito.
Yeah.
I would say. It was really tasty and refreshing. So that was just overall a good time.
It was. And then Caleb from Market House Podcast was getting the Scream canister, which is one of my favorite drinks. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, well, I don't want to copy him because he had ordered that one. And then the bartender was like, well, I get you a zombie, which is like a Scream canister, just more strong. So I was like, okay, I'll do that one. And it was cheaper.
So
by
weird.
Like $3. So
My
zombie,
gosh,
yeah, if
why?
you want to get that, I don't know, because it's maybe not like one of their signature cocktails, but
with more alcohol.
So good. I know.
You would think it would be more expensive.
I know. It's crazy, but had a great time with them. We also hung out in Galaxy's Edge for a little bit while our son was sleeping, which was really, really, uneventful, but it was just great talking to them because they're just a great couple.
Yeah.
Caleb and Caitlin, we love you so much. Had a great time with them overall. And then while we were in Galaxy's Edge, we met up with a listener, Paul, who was just so awesome. We got to talk to him about everything, just how he goes into the park, I think once a week. So we were talking about that. He hadn't gone to the park in a very, very long time. And then recently rediscovered his love for the Disney parks. And so, that was just really cool talking to him about that. Yeah. Talking about our love for Disney. And so we saw him there while our son was sleeping, and then our son woke up a little bit cranky. So we kind of split and we're like, how do we make our son happy? So we went to Toontown.
Yeah.
And so at this time on Monday, we did not go on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway because we knew the mornings would be best for that. But we did get to meet crazy. Mickey.
We did, yeah.
This is really, really fun.
Yeah, it was fun just walking around, seeing Toontown for the first time because we haven't seen it since the refurb was completed.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cute. I mean, I've been really excited to see it ever since it was going to get the refurb. So love it. I mean, I feel like my memory of it is kind of vague from before.
Yeah.
So a lot of it kind of felt the same to me, just like a little bit upgraded. Like a lot of it was just nicer. There's more seating and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like kind of grassy areas with benches and that kind of thing.
A quick note here is that the Centennial Park, which is like the tree and like there's some benches there, that was closed for some reason. And so that kind of restricted like crowd flow. And so it seemed really, really busy. So, there were like the new houses. There was a splash pad at Donald Duck's that we quickly looked into. But since it was so crowded, it was just, we kind of didn't really want to hang out there for too long. And so I think when the crowds die down and everyone's seen Toontown and they could, kind of simmer out a little bit, kind of spread out, we'll go back and we'll love it. But yeah, honestly,
more time. Yeah.
It looks amazing. Everything there is so great. But our time there was very kind of just cramped.
Especially at this time. Because like we said, mid-afternoon, which was when we were there, it was like almost evening at that point. It's like one of the most crowded times in the park, like in general. Yeah. So Toontown was pretty packed at that point. We did spend more time there the following morning. Yeah. Which we'll touch on in a little bit. But yeah, we did get to meet Mickey that day, went through his house, which our son had never gotten to do. So that was really fun. Yeah. It was so much fun. Met Mickey. And I do love that you get kind of like more of an intimate meet with Mickey at that one. Yeah. We haven't done that one in so long, it feels like. And it's just kind of extra special because it's like just you guys for a bit. And I love that while you're waiting, they play Mickey cartoons. That's always fun to kind of kill time.
It's not the good old classic cartoons now, but
it's true.
Yeah, it was like the new ones,
but
they're whatever.
It's at least something because I just don't enjoy waiting in lines with our son. He actually did really well this time.
He did. Yeah.
Better than I expected, but in general, it's just nice to have something for him to focus on when we're waiting in line. So I like that part.
For sure.
But
yeah. Oh, another thing. While we were there in Toontown, we tried the flop over that everyone talks about, the Cafe Daisy. Oh, was that the next day?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was like kind of a mid, like a lunch.
Oh, you know what? Okay. Yeah. Maybe it was the next day, but I'm going to just talk about this person anyway. So flop over, I loved it. M thought it tasted like a Hot Pocket.
No, it
but
was
like
good.
A good
it
Hot
was
Pocket. Like
definitely better than a Hot Pocket.
A gourmet Hot Pocket,
Okay,
which is really good for
I
theme
used
park
to eat
food.
Hot Pockets like all the time when I was a kid. I don't know why. I was a kid that like got on a roll of like one food for a long time. It was that and cup of noodles. Really healthy.
Nice.
I know.
Yeah.
I was a very healthy child, but I ate Hot Pockets all the time. So that was just kind of like the first thing that came to my mind when I tried the flop over. But it is a much better
really
version.
good.
So
it's a fancy Hot Pocket. Okay?
very fancy.
Very fancy.
And it's like fun to eat because it's like
it is really fun.
It's almost like a quesadilla, like a pizza quesadilla.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
Not even gonna try to match it. I just think like a pizzeria. That actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
Pizzeria.
pretty
Flop
much.
over is also fun.
I like
But
flop over.
while I was in line to get the flop over, I saw this man with a huge beard sitting down, and I said, "I know that guy from somewhere." So I opened Instagram and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's Magic King Dad." So shout out to Magic King Dad who was there that week and ran into him there. We chatted.
Times.
Yeah, a couple of times, and then. Yeah, when I was charging my phone later that second day, he was chilling up in Golden Horseshoe. We chatted about life and like all this stuff.
Yeah.
Really awesome
so
dude.
funny.
So go follow him, Magic King Dad on Instagram. Good dude, great beard.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice
good,
guy.
Good content, great content.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, Sean. You're amazing. Thank you for chatting with me. But anyways, outside of Toontown,
This is still the first day.
I know we're gonna speed things up here. Yeah.
Yeah, but we did do some fun stuff to end off the first day. So we'll just quickly go through that because we got to see Magic Happens for the first time. And we're not like parade people generally. Like we don't usually sit and wait for a parade when we're at the park. Like we're usually doing rides or doing other stuff. But this one we've been really excited for, and we'd never done one with our son. So we were like, maybe it would just be a fun thing to do on this trip. So we missed the first showing of it, which was at like 3:30.
Yeah.
So we did the 6:30 one, and it was so fun.
It's really a great show.
I loved it.
I love it.
It was so well done. I don't know, I guess with every parade they do it, but it's just fun how like characters will like run up and see you. Like, I mean, may or may not happen to you, I guess, but we got Peter Pan, who is my favorite, that ran up to us and he like faked me out for a high five and then high fived our son, and our son loves Peter Pan because of me. Like we watch it all the time. So it was just a really cute, special moment. And yeah, overall it was just a really good parade. I really like the music and just
music is bopping.
Yeah. And Merlin is
crazy. I think by the time this episode comes out, we have a reel on our Instagram. And you could see how crazy Merlin goes, man. Merlin is a beast. He gets down, especially being, I don't know, he looks 100. He is getting down. It's so awesome. But yeah, no, all the floats, incredible.
Parade.
So fun. The dancers, so great. Maui's arms could bend a little bit more. But other than that, he does look great. But no, the whole show is just so perfect. Like you said, the music, I love that it starts with Mickey. We have the classic characters in there. It's just a really, really fun show. So definitely, even if you're not a parade person, go see it.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's fun.
If you can get a spot, because that's what's always been a deterrent for me with parades is like, if you don't have somewhere to sit or like have a good view, it's not as fun. It's just really not fun because you just feel like you're in everybody's way and you can't see anything that well. Yeah. So we we made
did about 30 minutes before the show. So not that long. We got
but it started late too. It started like 15 minutes late.
Technically we were at the end of the parade because remember it came back.
Oh, that's true.
So
that's true.
Yeah. So we sat down 30 minutes before, had a great seat. It was near a garbage can, but it was still great.
Yeah.
We got to try popcorn for the first time. I don't want to go on about this. We might do a hot takes episode soon. Popcorn was good, but people make it sound better than it actually is. I'm sorry if you love the popcorn, but I would have rather had a pretzel during that time. I'm sorry, guys. We did. I got it late at night.
You did. That's right.
I was really full, but I was like, I need to get a pretzel
before this trip is done.
Fit it in there somehow.
Yeah.
It was very good.
That's what you do at Disneyland.
Yeah,
you fit snacks in.
I'm so full, but I haven't got a churro yet, and you just get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
So we did it.
It's good.
But yeah, so after that was over, we did, I think we ended rides on Alice in Wonderland, actually, which was our son's first time. And I hadn't been on it in forever. So it was just really fun getting to go on it again. And our son loved it. Yeah. And we got to like get on. I think you had.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll do a quick little story time here. So what happened? I had Genie Plus for Big Thunder Mountain. It closed for like most of the day. Mm-hmm. So I got use it for other rides. And I was like, you know what? Let's use it for Alice in Wonderland. I went up to the person. I said, hey, my wife and my son don't have Genie Plus, but like I have this thing that says you could use it for any ride. I was like, can I go on? And she was like, you know what? I am going to let you guys go. And not even use your pass. So she was just spreading a little bit of magic, which was so nice. So we all went in on the shortcut way, and then I was able to go on Big Thunder Mountain later with my pass. So really, really cool. But our son loved it. It's such a good dark ride. Yeah. I love getting outside, and it was nighttime, and it was just so much fun.
I think it is kind of the best Fantasyland ride. Yeah. I'm like such a huge Peter Pan fan.
I don't know. No, I mean, honestly, I think Peter Pan line is terrible, but there's something there's something so special about Peter Pan.
It is
the way you're flying.
It is. Yeah. Okay. It is pretty.
Alice in Wonderland is the very close second.
Yeah, they're kind of tied, I feel like.
Yeah.
But anyways, we've gone on about Alice long enough, I guess. So we did get to see Wondrous Journeys that night as well. We were kind of planning on trying to just do it on our last night. Actually, we really were hoping to do both World of Color and Wondrous Journeys, but with park hopping the way it ended up being for us, it was not going to work out to get both accomplished on the trip. So it ended up being Wondrous Journeys, which we did on the first night. Yeah. Because it just worked out that way. So yeah.
So love the song, love the show, love the scenes that they put in it. I think, so when we were watching it, we watched it on Main Street. I really wish we would have seen it at the castle, because Main Street projection shows are really cool, but you don't really get a full effect, especially when there's not any fireworks. But I mean, don't get us wrong. I love the progression. I love the music, how it intertwines with the different themes. We have an episode talking about this when they first came out. Mm-hmm. And we love it so much. But for some reason, in person, watching it on Main Street,
it was less impressive.
It was a little bit less impressive. I think we would have loved it. Yeah, you can't. There's a lot of times where you can't really see. We were also in front of a really loud speaker.
It was so loud. We were just kind of like, oh my gosh. Our son was like so much of the time. Yeah. It was really loud. And I mean, if you think about it, the majority of people watching are probably watching from Main Street, because that's a much bigger space than the area in front of the castle. Yeah. So most people are having to watch it from there, and it's not a good view. It's just not. Watching it on the building where there's nothing is smooth, like, so nothing looks like you can't see anything clearly. Yeah. I'm just not a huge fan of projection shows that are on buildings. Yeah. Like, I love World of Color because it's on water.
Smooth water, yeah.
Like, you can actually see it and like connect with it more. I just don't know why Disney has to keep doing projection shows. Like, I miss fireworks shows, and I know that they do fireworks occasionally for this one, but it's like very rare. It's only on weekends. And
yeah, I really wish they would just do fireworks midweek too, just because it was missing a little something. And I think we would have liked it more in person if we saw it at the castle, because I think it has a little bit smoother edges than Main Street does. Yeah. But I guess just where we were in Main Street, it was just kind of hard to see. Mm-hmm. So we might just have to watch it at a different place, because I do love the music. I love the songs, and I love the clips that they add to the songs, but just visually it was a little bit, I could have went with or without it.
Yeah. When it ended, I was kind of just like, okay, I'm ready to go. Yeah. I hate to say that, because I was really excited to see it, but I was not like super moved by it by the end because I just couldn't really.
I was more, you know what's crazy? I was more moved by it watching a YouTube POV on the castle than I was in person, which is crazy. By the way, you could totally disagree with us and still listen to our show.
Yeah.
So don't hate us. Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't hate us if anything we say here goes against your love, but that's just our experience, and everyone is entitled to different experiences. But yeah, I'll still bop that song. I'll blast that thing. That thing is great.
Yeah, it is great.
So we went to bed that night.
Yeah, it was late.
It was very late.
Both nights were very late nights for our son, which he's not used to.
Yeah.
It was like 10:30, 11 by the time he was in bed.
Yeah. And so Tuesday we woke up and we just were thinking, you know what? We spent a lot of time in California Adventure the day before. We need to stay at Disneyland all day. Yeah. We were thinking, okay, maybe we go to California Adventure, but we just ended up soaking up all of Disneyland. And so first thing we did when we walked in the park, we went straight to Peter Pan. Said 30-minute wait like it always does. They just like never change that. It there. Like 30, 40. Like that's all they do. We went in 15 minutes.
Yeah. It was pretty quick, which was awesome because generally it does take about a half hour, if not more.
Yeah.
And it moved pretty quick. I still hate the queue so much because it feels like you're this close to people the entire time.
Yeah.
It's so cramped. It's like very claustrophobic, but at least it was quick and we got it and we hadn't done it in a long time. So it was great going on it again.
Our son loves it. Our son loves the movie too. So when he saw Captain Hook, he always says, Captain Hook eaten by alligator, or alligator eat Captain Hook. And so I was like, look, it's actually happening. He's being eaten right in front of you. Yeah. He liked that. It was very exciting.
Very exciting.
So cool.
It was very fun. So we did Peter Pan and then we went back to Toontown to do Runaway Railway because the line was much shorter at this point than it was the day before.
Even if it was long, that queue is
amazing. Is so good. Yeah, we got in line and we just walked through a lot of it initially because it was, the line didn't back up too far. And the queue is just so fun and so cute. Yeah. Just Mickey stuff everywhere.
Great for kids.
I could have spent more time even just like looking at all the stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was really cool to see. But yeah, the line moved really quickly.
Yeah.
Got on the ride and it was really fun. It definitely like jolted us around more than expected.
Realize that it does that.
Yeah. It was pretty jerky. And being pregnant was a little bit like, this was more than I expected. Yeah. But I think it was fine. I mean, it wasn't like, it wasn't anything too intense. No crashing of any kind or anything like that. It was just a lot of like, side to side, back, kind of like on Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, it feels like Rise of the Resistance a little bit without the drop. That'd be kind of funny if there was. But yeah, it does kind of move you around, which is really, really fun. But yeah, I think it's like in my head, I was like, hopefully the baby's okay.
Yeah.
A little paranoid. Oh my gosh, hopefully they're fine. But Ride is so much bigger than I expected. Like those screens, the show scenes that you're in, it's huge. It is really, really fun.
It's really well done.
There's a lot of scenes like the waterfall one into that like tropical area. Like the waterfall really kind of felt like you go into your own personal screen there and it almost feels like you're falling over. Like it is such a well done ride and honestly brings so much to Toontown. And I'm going to be excited to ride that thing every single time I go in there.
Yeah, me too.
So much fun and just a great addition to Toontown. Yeah. I'm so stoked.
I'm so glad that there's a Mickey ride now. That's all I can say. It's been so needed for so long and it really is a fun ride. I'm so glad we finally got to do it.
The one bummer is it exits out into a store. So we did pay $50 to get our son a toy.
A remote control car.
And he lost a piece of it. Shortly
a very
after.
Important piece, Mickey himself.
Yeah, Mickey himself. So Minnie's driving the car currently. She's a good driver.
Great driver.
She's really, really good. And Pluto's there too. But no Mickey.
So we're just going to find some Small Mickey.
Don't do the train. We were like, oh, let's get that train. And then we saw it was $150. We were like, maybe we'll go for the cheaper one. So we spent 50 instead of 100 more than that. But it was what it was.
Nuts. These days for stuff in the park. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And they do it because they know the kids are probably going to throw a fit if their parents don't just buy it. So.
They're like, hey, parents, want to have a rough time?
Here you go.
Exit into a store. And then all the kids are like, oh, I need this or else I'll scream my head off. And then we're like, okay, fine, here's $500. Like, okay, we'll buy everything in the store. It was a really
cute store, though. I did really like the store. There was a lot in there. I could have bought plenty of other things, but since we spent $50 on a remote control car, I was like,
on top of the $30 we spent for bubbles.
Yeah. Exactly.
But so it is what it is.
We're not bitter.
We're not bitter. I get to play with it, so it's great. Quickly, I guess we'll go through some things. We went to Galaxy's Edge again. We got obviously the cold brew black calf. We got it both days.
Twice,
the best. But we also met Din and Grogu.
Yes. Which was chaos, pure chaos, because there's no order to it whatsoever. They just show up and then they are swarmed by humans. So you just have to spot it happening and jump in and take a picture if you're able to, which you were able to.
Yeah, it was just so good.
It was good.
But soon after that, I got to ride Indiana Jones. Mm-hmm. I did a little lightning lane for that. And it was my first time riding the new and improved Indiana Jones. So the door at the beginning has a really cool effect on it. There's the cool effect instead of the mouse scene, which did not look like a mouse climbing on. And
no,
you guys know the scene. It's like, what? Just go through smoke, and they're like, no, it's a mouse that's on a vine. You're like, or a spider web or something. You're like, no, I don't know what that is.
That's not.
There's a new cool projection there, and right before that. So I had a great time because that's my number one all-time favorite ride. And
also, as he was about to get in line for Indiana Jones, our son recently, we got him the book, The Little Man of Disneyland. If you've never read it, it's so cute. It came out literally the year that Disneyland opened, 1955. And it's about this little leprechaun named Patrick Bagora who was supposed to have lived in the orange groves before Disneyland was created. And he ends up, after so long giving the okay to them to build Disneyland. But he has a home still in Disneyland, quote unquote, by the end of the book. And his home is set up on one of the trees as you're entering the queue for Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So it's just to the right, the first tree to the right of the Indiana Jones queue. If you've never seen it before, you just peek around that tree and you'll see a little chimney and door, and it's so cute. And so we got to show it to our son because we all building up to the trip. We were like, are we going to find his home? We got to look for it on our trip,
Yeah.
And he was so excited about it. And so it was so cute getting to show it to him.
He loved it.
So fun.
It was so cool. And then soon after that, I made my last splash. I went single rider. So he got on in 5 minutes, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not even ready. I have to mentally prepare. I'm going to get soaked. But literally they're like, okay, it's your turn. I was like, oh my, this is so quick. I wasn't mentally prepared to get splashed. But I was wearing shorts. It was 7:30. It was raining, sprinkling earlier that day. And I was like, I have to do it. So I had a fun time. I was sitting in the back. I was with just a bunch of friends in the front. And, I was just kind of the weirdo that was sitting in the back, but still had a very fun time. Shoes got soaked, but I wouldn't have it any other way for my last splash.
Got to do what you got to do.
So amazing. The one bummer is single rider goes through the exit, and I saw people kind of discussing and talking, and I looked over and all the photos were blank. And I was like, you know what? I'm sure they're not going to have that fixed by the time I go on it. And so I just filmed myself going down since the camera wasn't working. And when I got off, the photos weren't working. And so I'm trying to retrieve that photo through the Disney app right now. I'm talking to the help support team and everything. But yeah, a lot of probably angry people that night who couldn't get their last splash photo. So it is what it is. That's not Disney's, the cast members' fault. They just have to figure it out. But regardless, I had such a fun time. My last time on Splash. So awesome. Yeah. And then we ended it after that how we always end our trips now.
Mm-hmm.
We just started a tradition to end it on the Mark Twain riverboat, something that we had never been on together until we had our son. And now we just love going on it.
Yeah. Before that, we got dinner at Harbor Galley, or I think I
got the gumbo, steak gumbo.
Yeah, and I got clam chowder again.
The other one.
So good. And we got some churro toffee.
That's
from what's it called?
Pooh's Corner.
Yes, the candy store. Because Ariel, who we had on, I think like our last episode told us about that. And I don't know how we had never tried it before, but it's divine.
So good.
I think it's going to happen every time we're there now. So got that and had our soup bowls and then went on the Mark Twain. And it was a very magical way to end the night. As always, we love going on the Mark Twain now to end our Disney trips.
Emotional.
It was emotional. Yeah. We both, I think, teared up a little bit because it was just really special with our son. And it's our last time there before the next one arrives in a couple of months. So it was just, we were soaking it in a lot. And it was just a very, very special moment. We got a sweet picture of the three of us.
Yeah.
And it was really sweet. He had such a blast on this trip. I really have to just shout out our son because he did really great. Yeah. Not every morning went smoothly. Times at the hotel were more stressful than I recall. I think he was very, very tired because obviously he was just.
Yeah. I was talking to Magic King Dad. I was like, our son got all of his tantrums out in the morning at the hotel.
Yeah.
So it's like every single morning, a little hey, good morning tantrum. And then he was fine the rest of the time in the park. So I was like, I'd rather have it first thing in the morning than have it at the park where
even though it stressed us out.
Yeah.
Like trying
to get out the door and it's just like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's scream.
It was chaos in the mornings. But aside from trying to get out of the hotel and get into the park, he did great. He had so much fun on this trip, and he just loves Disneyland more every time we go, which makes me so happy because it just makes every trip more fun and more special with him. Yeah. So I can't wait to go back whenever that is. I'll have a second one in tow at that point, so it's gonna be interesting. But it was just such a fun, special trip with him.
And then as we were exiting, we love the Mark Twain riverboat so much. But as we were exiting, we're like, man, I don't want to go. You know that thing when you're walking down Main Street and it's your last day and you just don't want to exit? You're like, what could we? Okay, we'll go into the store. How can
we delay a little bit longer?
Just look at the lights. But one thing that we did see that we had to do was he loves fire trucks. And
that specific one at the firehouse at the end of Main Street, or at the start of Main Street, I guess, is his favorite. And we have a Disneyland book and it has a picture of it, and every time he sees it he like points it out. And so right as we were about to leave, I spotted it, and I thought the area might be closed off because it was kind of late at that point. But I saw that people were still going in there, and I was like, oh my gosh, we have to end the night taking him into the fire truck. So he got to spend a lot of time. As soon as I showed him the truck over there, he was like he got so excited. And so we got to go in there for a while, and it was basically just him in there the whole time. I think one or two other kids popped in for a minute, but he spent so much time just hanging out on the fire truck. Yeah. It was so cute.
It was so sweet. And then as he was, we were getting him off, and I just looked up into Walt's apartment and just saw that lamp, and I was just so emotional, especially because like we were getting emotional on the Mark Twain riverboat, just thinking how amazing. I was just thinking about, we went to Disneyland at like 16 years old, and we like had so many years together. And then now we're taking our kid, and it was our last trip with our son before the second one arrives. And I was just thinking about all the memories that we had created at Disneyland. And I looked up at that lamp in Walt's apartment that always stays on to just signify, that he's still such a big part of Disney, and he's watching over and everything. And I just got emotional. I was like, man, this one guy's dream, this one man's dream just has created so many memories for so many people. And so it was just a really sweet send off before our next trip. And I'm just so thankful to that man for creating the place that you guys listening as well, love so much. And the place that we'll continue to create memories with.
Oh yeah.
However big our family gets. But so awesome. I want to end it there on that note, but we quickly have to talk about what we did on Wednesday because it was just really awesome.
So cool.
One of our listeners is a cast member at Disney and at Disneyland, and he gave us access, like a flyer, to go into Company D. And Company D is a staff or like cast member only store that, if you know someone, they could also be brought in. And it's kind of off like Catella, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe a mile away from the parks. And so it's kind of like a warehouse thing where any merch that, let's say, for example, holiday merch, January rolls around. What are they going to do with all that holiday merch? Well, they can't keep selling it at the store. So they put it to Company D, and everything starts 50% off and then just gets more discounts after that.
Yeah.
And that was like so cool to see. So thank you to our cast member friend. I don't want to say your name just in case, it should be secretive, but thank you so much. It meant so much. We went in and it was kind of around our son's nap time, and he was already getting a little bit cranky.
He was wiped out from the last couple days. It was He was definitely ready to get in the car and take his snooze for the day.
Yeah.
And so we got in there and it was pretty packed. It was kind of hard to get a good look at a lot of the stuff. We stayed in there for a bit, maybe 20 minutes or so, but the line also had gotten really long by the time we were wavering on a few items to maybe get. And then it was just kind of like...
Then he just started kind of whining a little bit. And so we're like, okay, you know what? Oh, maybe we'll come back another time where we're a little bit more mentally at ease, because it was just kind of getting a little chaotic with our son and stuff. And so so we didn't end up buying anything. But
it was very
so
special
awesome
and amazing getting to see it at all and just be in there, because that's pretty special access.
It was. Yeah, it was such a cool experience. So if you're listening right now, you know who you are. Thank you so much.
Yes,
it really means a lot. But with that, we just talked a lot about our trip and our exciting news about the baby number two. Baby number two. So
lots coming up. Lots of we'll have to plan out some things in terms of the show. We're kind of starting to pre-plan a little bit for how that's gonna go. We'll update you guys as it gets closer to September. We may be taking a little bit of time off, but we'll also be pre-recording some episodes and might have some fun crossover things potentially in the works. We'll see how that goes.
We're gonna try our hardest to make it still weekly. Just pre-plan some episodes, have some people on. Sometimes it might just be me for a little bit. I'm sorry, you won't get the amazing Emily, but we're gonna work something out so that will be good. But
we'll keep you guys updated on the plans for that. We're figuring it out. And we'll figure it out more so as it gets closer. So
for sure. And actually, real quick, as we're talking, we are on episode 92. We are very close to episode 100. And there's a lot of cool milestones right now. So we're almost to episode 100. Our YouTube is almost at 500 subs. I think we need like less than 25 more. So like if you're listening and you have a YouTube channel, go hit who's going to be your 500 sub? Like might as well be you. And then also we had a podcast milestone a little bit ago, which was really exciting. And then just Instagram, like I know it's not all about numbers, but we're almost at 4,000. And all I could say is thank you so much for following us on this journey, because, we started this little thing. Oh, we're going to talk about Disney and the people we've met through this community. Yeah. So awesome. We have some amazing people within this circle that I guess not really a circle, this huge community with all of you guys. And so we just want to say thank you so much. We love you. Your support means everything. And I think that's pretty much it. That's all we could say.
It up. I second everything he said. You guys mean the world to us. We obviously wouldn't do this without you, and all the support and the listens and all the feedback we get from you guys means so much, more than you know. So thank you for all of that. And we will be back again next week. And we'll see you guys then.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.